Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to jump right into something super cool today, a message about how you can feel strong and brave, for those times when things get a little tough or even kind of scary. So you ready? Let's do this.
You know that feeling when you're up against something that just feels huge? Maybe it's a big test at school, or you're trying out for the soccer team, or maybe you're just worried about something. It's like looking up at a giant mountain and thinking, how am I ever going to climb that? We've all been there.
So check this out. This is where we start. It's a question from Psalm 27, and it basically says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, so who should I be afraid of?" Think about it. If God is like a super bright flashlight in a dark room and your personal bodyguard, what's left to fear? It's an awesome way to kick things off, right?
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we face those fears? Well, here's the first big idea, and it's a really cool one. We're going to think about God as our captain. I want you to imagine something with me. You're on a giant ship out in the middle of the ocean. All of a sudden, bam, a huge storm rolls in. The waves are crashing, the wind is howling. It's pretty scary, right? But then you remember, you're not driving this boat alone. You've got a captain who's strong, who knows these waters perfectly, and who is totally in control.
So what does a captain like that even do? Well, he leads the way, so you'll never get lost. He protects you from enemies, anything that might try to get in your way. And of course, he's super strong and wise. Now that last one, vanquish his foes, that's just a fancy way of saying he totally crushes any enemy or problem that comes along. Pretty awesome, huh? It means you're in the best hands possible.
All right, let's move on to the next piece of this puzzle. This one is a great story about a prince who had a really smart secret for making the right choices. So the story goes, there was this noble prince, and he had this one special thing he kept with him all the time. It was a small picture of his dad, the king, and he kept it right next to his heart, like his most important treasure.
So, anytime the prince had to make a hard choice, or maybe he was tempted to do something he knew was wrong, he had this secret weapon. He'd find a quiet spot, pull out that picture, and just look at his father's face.
And as he looked at it, he would think to himself, my dad is such an excellent king. I'm not going to do anything that would make him look bad. And just that one thought, that was enough. It helped him make the right call, every single time.
So that makes you think, right? How can we use that idea? What's your picture? And hey, it doesn't have to be a real physical picture. It could be a verse you love, a song that reminds you of God's goodness, or even just taking a deep breath and remembering, hey, I'm a child of God and I want to make him proud.
Okay, now for our last big idea. And honestly, this might be my favorite one, because this is all about you and how incredibly, unbelievably valuable you are. You're really going to want to listen to this one.
Okay, get this. The Bible uses this amazing language to describe you. It says you are a crown of glory and a royal diadem. What's a diadem? It's like a super special, sparkly crown that only kings and queens get to wear. I mean, wow, that's how God sees you.
So let that sink in for a second. If you're a crown, that means you belong to a king. It means you're part of the royal family. You're not just anybody. You're a child of the king of everything.
So what does it mean to be a royal treasure? Well, first, you are incredibly valuable. Seriously, more precious than any gold or diamond. Second, you are protected and kept safe. And third, you were made to shine. You are made to reflect how amazing God is.
Okay, so let's recap real quick. We've got 3 huge ideas here. Number 1, you have a powerful captain. Number 2, you've got the prince's secret for making smart choices. And number 3, you are God's royal treasure. The big question is, how do we actually use this stuff in our real, everyday lives?
Well, here it is, broken down super simple. 3 ways to be strong. First, when you feel scared, remember your captain has your back. Second, when you have a hard choice to make, remember the prince and his picture. And third, whenever you start to feel small or like you don't matter, you remember you are God's priceless treasure. It's that simple. So as we wrap this up, I've got one last thing for you to think about. This week, at school, maybe playing with your friends, or just hanging out at home, when is one time you can use one of these reminders? Think of a moment right now, and decide that in that moment, you're going to remember who you are and just how strong you are in the Lord. Thanks so much for joining me.